In today's video, we're going to do a full 50-minute class with a focus on back and biceps. So grab a water bottle if you need it and a towel, and we'll get set up. You want to grab a set of handles. So go ahead and attach your handles on. I've got mine ready. And then we're going to put the box on short at spring side edge. So we are going to drop the swivel pulleys down. If you have that option, go ahead and do that. And you can hear in the background a timer. So I've got it set on a timer. We're going to start with simple biceps curls standing aside the carriage facing out. Just kind of get yourself forward enough to where the arm is being pulled back. And I would say let's kind of start on a blue. Let's start a blue spring. I had it on a red, but I think that was a bit much for warm up. So go ahead and test that out. Yeah, blue feels medium plus to me, so it's going to be a good athletic. So if you feel a blue is too much, or you want to just kind of take it easy and kind of maybe work your way up, start on yellow. If yellow is too heavy, get your hooked on Pilates handy bands out and put them against the up against the riser. So let's go ahead and do some nice, easy bicep curls. I'm slightly flexed forward at the hips, getting those warmed up, finding a resistance that challenges you. And I'm also looking back and making sure that I am aligned with that swivel pulley on the shoulder. So you'll notice when we change arms, I'm going to step out. Let it come back to a nice stretch, and then curl. Switch, stepping out, switching legs, and curl. Slight forward flex at the hips. Good. Just keep it easy, simple. And we're going to flip around in a minute, and we'll do some rowing. All right, let's go ahead and turn around back to right arm. Adjust and just start rowing, standing rows. You can do both feet wide or one behind and one forward, which is my personal preference. Standing tall, single arm rowing. Another few seconds. Remember, my cue is to push the elbow back, switch arms, and adjust your body. Instead of pulling with the hands, always push back with the elbow. That turns that posterior shoulder on as opposed to being into the traps. Try not to bang the carriage like I did. A little bit more control. We're going to adjust our body position forward, go back to the right arm, and let's get a little bit lower so we change where gravity is on that shoulder for the bicep, right into curls. Flexed forward, but much lower this time. And immediately step side, switch, flex deep, and biceps. Remember, this is athletics, so the spring tension I choose should be a little stronger than what we do in a normal traditional Pilates class. So if you're doing this for the first time and you just want to experience how I program, how we repeat, how we add, and work our way up for strength, please err on the side of doing light, giving our biceps a rest. Back to rowing, standing. I'm going to go just slightly to the right. Palm is facing in, up, or down, whatever you want. I have no preference for the warm-up. Always push that elbow back. Switch, step, and right into it. Keep that nice exhale on the push of the elbow, inhale on the return. If you want to add that, or just keep your breath relaxed, core engaged. All right, so let's go ahead and change back to right arm. We're going to now orient our body to where our arm faces that way and our body faces out at an angle, and we're going to do underhand bicep curls to the chest. This does require that you understand this is not a row. This is not a hug a tree. This is a horizontal bicep curl. Switch, pivot, step, flex. We'll do a couple rounds of that. Try to keep your back from rounding. Put that box back on. Pivot, switch, one more each side. I'm going to take it off. I was going to do something different, but we'll go back to it in a moment. Focus on that nice neutral spine. Sitting back in the hips, keep tension out of the knees. Pivot, switch. Good. Let's give our biceps a little bit of a rest. We're going to work the biceps as a decelerator, but the accelerator is going to be chest. So let's just do it underhand, arm press, and back, working on the negative. So let's do 1 second forward, 3, 2, 1 back. Press for 1, 3, 2, 1. Press, 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds more. Press and really slow on the way in. Power on the way out. 3, 2, 1. Press. 3, 2, 1. Press. 3, 2, 1. Press. One more. Switch. 3, 2, 1. Press. Oops, be careful not to move your bed. My bed just moved a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Press. "30 seconds more. 1 second out. 3 seconds in. Nice to train the negative sometime. I think we oftentimes, even in our Pilates class, when we're doing a little strength, we focus primarily on the accelerator muscles. So this is kind of nice. Good. Rest. Give yourself a minute to recover. Let's go ahead and add that short box back on. Grab a little bit of water if you need. Remember, through any of the class, if the spring tension is greater than your ability to maintain proper form and breathing, drop it down. No sense in trying to build strength with poor form. All right, so your leg position is up to you. I'm going to put headrest down, 1 foot on headrest, and I'm going to do elbow on knee. Now, noticing my body is angled to the opposite riser. So I'm not facing this way. So I want to side angle my body, and I'm going to grab this first. Now you can see how slack it is. So I'm going to have to do some rope wrapping around. I'm going to guess 2 times, and that's going to be perfect. I want my elbow cap to fit right into that crook, and we're going to do single arm bicep. Once I go all the way to straight arm, elbow will lift up. So let's do this on a blue, the same thing. It should be medium. We'll start adding some strength here in a moment. Focus on control, and also focus on shoulder stability, and your pecs and lats should be on to help stabilize. Let's go ahead and do another 30 seconds. Keeping it nice and slow and controlled before we ladder the resistance up. All right, so let's go ahead and post that strap. We're going to switch sides before we start increasing the weight, and this will require us to wrap the rope twice. Left foot on the headrest, right foot tucked under the left thigh. Adjust our body at an angle, and let's do bicep curls. This rope is a little longer. Let me do 3. Yeah, 3. All right, 1 minute here. Maybe I did wrap the other one 3 times. Yeah, I did. Really focus on that full extension. The elbow will come up as you go onto your forearm, and then the elbow cap will fit right in that space between the kneecap and the femur. 30 seconds more. Remembering, because this is an athletic class, you have the option to increase spring tension along with me. If you find that you want to just get through the class, learn it once, and then next time come through the class again and challenge yourself, that's a really great option. And I recommend doing that. And I also recommend coming back in 60 days, doing the class again and seeing the difference in your strength. So that's the wonderful thing about the videos, is there for you to come back to, do it again, and then check your strength. And I would probably mark it too. So 1, 2, 3. All right, make sure they're wrapped around. And I don't know why it feels off. Let me just make sure these are even. Yeah, they are. All right, so this is your option to increase it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a yellow on with that blue, and I'm going to go to 10 reps now. So when I do the strength, let's just silence the buzzer so it doesn't confuse me. When I start doing strength, I want to bring the rep range down. Now, if you're not doing strength today, as I mentioned earlier, and you're just going through this series to get, I'm going to actually go 4 times around. There we go. That's really going to get me tight. All right, so let's do 8 reps on a blue and a yellow, wrapped 4 times around. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, starting to feel the burn, 7, and 8. Post that strap, and let's wrap the left around 4 times, choking it up even more. Make sure it's wrapped around good. And let's go ahead and set yourself up for 8. Let me undo that. That's what it is. Yeah. 8. Yeah, my other strap was just stopping me to full range. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You have option to do what I did and just throw it into the well, or uncoil once and wrap it on. Otherwise, you're going to be going up and down. And I don't want that. So wrap around 4 times on this side and 3 on the other. That way, this won't be slack. That was what was stopping me. So 4 times. I'm going to add a red and then take the yellow off. So now I'm going to do it with a red and a blue, wrapped 4 times around. Give ourselves another 30 seconds. When we start increasing spring tension, I always want to make sure we have at least a 60-second recovery in between. When you're starting the ladder and we're starting slow, you're going to probably feel that 30 seconds is fine from the medium light to the medium before we go medium plus to heavy, super heavy. So I would probably say we'll do another 3 rounds, building up. And sometimes you can even do more if you want. But I want to do a couple different back exercises. All right, so let's go ahead and do 8 reps. Get organized, get yourself set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's unwrap once, post, and then make sure this side is wrapped around 4 times. So using this as a really great example, I used to do this with dumbbells, this exact same position, dumbbells in the gym. And what I've done with both my upper and lower body athletic workout reformer books is I've taken ideas from the gym and translated it to this machine, because this is nothing more than a horizontal version of a vertical cable machine. And when you start looking at it that way, you can come up with really great ideas. And that's why I wrote the books, so you have a good starting point and reference on how to do that. So I'm trying to think of what they used to call this. I can't remember. But anyway, that's kind of what this replicates. Let's go ahead and switch, go to the other side. If you have a guy that says there's no way Sean worked out only on the reformer with his physique, he must, go to the gym, show him this video sequence. And for those naysayers that think I go to the gym and work out, have them watch me work out on the reformer. All right, so let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And uncoil, post. All right, so I'm actually happy with that today. This is the second video I've shot today, and I did a full-length class about an hour ago on shoulders. So I'm okay. Now, on a day where I haven't already done an hour class shooting, I would probably go up to 2 reds, maybe 2 red and a yellow if I really want to blast the biceps and I feel that strength on that day. But on a red and a blue, that's still wrapped around 4 times, good strength. So if you're doing the same as I am, great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coil wrap tight, post it, rest for another 30 seconds. The other thing I forgot, if you feel that the elbow bone and the leg here are uncomfortable, pad something over it. You need to grab grippy pads, put a couple grippy pads on there to help it from sliding, because if you're wearing slippery pants or whatever, you need the cushion, please do that. All right. So I'm ready. If you're ready, let's do round 4 of 5. So we have 2 more rounds. And let's go for 8. You can always spot by putting a finger or 2 fingers under that wrist if you need that little extra spot. Couple more. Nice. Uncoil, post, recoil for 4 on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest for a minute. Post and rest. So as I've mentioned before in other classes, I don't know if I did when we were starting here, these are the extra large handles, custom made from Elements. So you can see how big they are on my hand. The problem with the standard straps is they're so tight, they're made for a woman's hand, that my large hands rub knuckles. And I didn't really mind when I was just doing traditional Pilates classes. When I started doing athletic and it's really pulling, and this is the thing for if you're a female teacher and you have males, when it starts pulling really heavy, it pulls everything really tight in there and it really hurts the arms. So if you are doing strength and you have guys with large hands, either a large or extra large glove size, you want to go to Elements and get some custom, some of the larger, and just ask them, if they don't sell them directly, because a lot of things are custom made. You can just say the ones Sean purchased, or ordered the larger ones. All right, let's do right or left. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Uncoil. All right, so I am thinking that I shortchanged myself. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 red. I think I can do more for the last set. Let me grab a little water, give ourselves a good minute recovery. I've still got that timer in front of me, so I'm kind of watching. So keep us going so I can chit chat with you guys. Keep it from dead silence. All right, so 2 red, super strength, wrapped 4 times. So I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and give ourselves another 20 seconds of rest. If you have my Athletic Upper Body Volume 1, in the single arm biceps sitting section, put this, because this I had come up with it after I wrote the book. So you can put this in the notes section on an option for a variation for side quarter turned sitting facing back biceps. All right, last set. Let's go. Wish me luck. 8, 7, 6. Come on, you can do this. 5. Talking to you as much as I am to me. 4, 3, 2, 1. And I forgot to mention uncoil. If you're doing super heavy, and I had a moment there where I was using a little bit momentum, you're going to feel the box slide or your foot slide. If you're doing heavy and you're not using momentum, strut your foot on a raised headrest. That'll help. All right. So we're going to give ourselves a minute rest, but let's coil, 4, wrap, and post, and get ready for this side. The other thing about these oversized is to use large rollers. So the traditional rollers, and I get it, Pilates in the industry was such a female-dominant workout form of exercise. So I get why everything was so small. but we have so many men, including myself, that are interested in Pilates and athletic Pilates and merging the both because it's so much more efficient, that the handles were so small, the rollers were so small, I could not get a full grip. I was so overly confined within those small rollers and the small handles. So take that in consideration and get some of these for your male clients. Or, I mean, I outfitted my whole studio, so even my females use it, and they actually prefer the larger roll handles for the athletic classes. All right, last set of biceps, and let's do it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you can drop those babies, uncoil. We are done with that section. So let's go ahead and get some back work on. So this one I'm going to, when we do strength, we want to make sure we're supported any way we can. We're not doing, when we're doing strength, we're not doing kneeling when we're really loading it up. So I am going to show you, I didn't say this, so I can't pull it out now because you didn't get your stuff ready. If you have a mini max soft arc, you can put it on here, but I'm just gonna, I'll show you this version for those of you who don't, just sitting on the box. But remember, when you're a little higher, it changes the angle of the swivel pulley. So this is gonna be mimicked like you would see in a gym. So it's up to you. You can do a high to low, or you can just stay here and we can bring the swivel pulleys up or not. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to load it up with 3 red, 1 blue, and 1 green. So that's pretty much all springs on for most of us. You can add extra when I'm not shooting a segment and I'm doing this just on my own. I have extra springs. They hang on a grid on a wall, and they're greens and reds, and they're specifically for athletic classes. So if a student with all these on and they're still not challenged, and we've choked the straps up, which causes us to pull more, then I can add some. And I generally do that with only 2 different exercises, add extra springs under the carriage. And that's going to be on the seated row series or the leg press series. So let's just check these out. So what you're going to notice is putting your feet on the shoulder rest acts the same as when we went to the gym and we put our feet on the foot plate. So if you are longer limbed, you may feel confined in here. So you can put your feet there. It's up to you. You can put them up high like this, or you can do low. So what I'm going to do is wrap twice because I already know that those springs are not going to be enough for me. So by wrapping it, I'm going to start with the carriage already started a foot open. I'm going to make sure my sit bones are towards the back but not off the back. Most importantly, make sure your straps are totally even. My left is a tiny bit longer, so I'm going to adjust that. Let me check it again. There we go. Perfect. All right. So let's first do hands straps to the side. And let's do 8 reps, palms face in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now what we're going to do is let's clip both eye hooks to both straps and have a seat. So this is going to mimic a V-bar we used to do in the gym, and it's going to be more like the difference between a push-up where your hands are shoulder distance apart or push-ups when your hands are narrow. This is going to be like a V-bar. So I'm just simply going to sit up tall, Widen my feet into and knees into a frog position. So I'm still strutting my heels against it. Sit up nice and tall. Adjust my hands to palms face in and pull for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now in other classes, let's go ahead and take that back. I will keep the V bar on and do some progressions. We're going to uncoil the left, and we're simply going to do single arm. So if you feel that this is too much for you, please take the resistance down. There's a couple different positions you can have for single arm. You can do what we did with the bicep, which is quarter turn, like this. You can do it head on, like this, or you can lean forward and strut yourself like this. You need to try all of them. I'm going to stay here today. So let's go ahead and do 8, 7, 6, pushing that elbow back, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Uncoil and coil right twice, and do this side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and uncoil right. Now, if you did 2 coils and you've got 3 red, a blue, and a green on, and you still have some strength to go, let's wrap 3 to 4 times. So I'm going to go to 1, 2, 3, and then try that. Make sure you're giving yourself a nice little rest in between. If you want to rest before you coil it, that would have probably been a better decision. That was not comfortable being down there. So we're going to do left arm, right arm struts. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it 3 times if you want to add strength. 3, 2, 1. Push down, grab it, get yourself set, and let's do 8 reps. 8, 7, 6. Prevent the shoulder from disassociating to your best ability. So pecs and lats are on even though when my arm straightens. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwrap and rest for a minute. While we're resting, let's wrap it 3 times on this side. Actually, no, we're going to rest before. Getting ahead of myself. So hopefully you're enjoying these different variations for strength. Basic rule of thumb, and I've probably said this before in the other classes, the athletic classes, or if you have the athletic workbook and you have the pre-programmed templates in the back, you can kind of see how you can do so much as long as you're focused on increasing tension, increasing rep or decreasing rep range, increasing tension, and repeating. A lot of the times in traditional classes, we're going to do 1 biceps, go to the shoulders, go to the triceps, go to the lats, go to the rotation, and we just keep hitting full body. In athletic reformer, the goal is to treat it just like you do at the gym, so we're really allowing ourselves our muscle strength. Let's wrap for 3. All right. Oh, wrong arm. All right, so we're ready, set up, strut it against it, butts back enough, and let's do for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Uncoil. One last set. Option A, 3 wraps. Option B, 4 wraps. Now let's say you do option 4, 4 wraps, and you're still bored. You still can go up. That's where you need to know when we're doing single arm strength that you need to be adding that extra spring under the carriage. So you may say, hey, I don't need my blue. Let me just get rid of my blue, unhook it before the class starts, or go into, they're not that hard to do. Just go under the carriage, unhook one, sit on the floor, hook the other one, or you can leave both on. If you have the Revo bars, which I do, I can have 2 springs on the same hook. Put one on the hook and one up on that button. You just have to be very careful not to go fast. And the great thing is about when you're doing super strength and heavy resistance, you can't go fast. You've got to control it. So, but if you go really fast, they can kind of catch in each other. And hopefully I will be able to, in the future, figure out how to have somebody or myself make a heavy, heavy spring for athletic. So I would like to create a spring that's maybe 2 greens for strength or a red and a green together, just so we don't have to limit ourselves in what we do with our springs. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap for 4, 3, 2, 1. I've got to reach quite forward before to get it on. All right, so go from a rounded posture, organize first, abs are in, and let's go. Make sure you're strutted with that foot against it in whatever position you're in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwrap. Now, I will tell you a caution with the in-home reformers or the Allegra 2s. Anytime you have a plastic reformer, you need to be very, very careful, because if you have a reformer where the swivel pulleys don't drop down and you're doing heavy, that's why I recommend this reformer. There's a couple other out there that are more cost effective. You can always email me, because when it's dropped down and you're doing heavy, you're not bending against this upright, this riser here. So make sure when you're doing heavy springs and you're loading it up as I'm suggesting you can do, you need to make sure you're not on a standard reformer that doesn't have adjustable collapsible risers, or you have a plastic one where it's not as strong. So just be very mindful. All right, let's wrap for 4. Push it down. Tighten it up. Yep, there's 4. All right, hop on. All right. Get yourself set up. Posture is good. Foot is strut. Butt is back. And let's do for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Uncoil. Drop the strap, the handles, and let's just do a few, maybe some stretches for the shoulder. Let's take the springs off. I'll do it facing camera first. So this is going to be a thoracic stretch with a little added pec stretch at the end. Actually, I want the long box on for this one, just because I know my hamstrings are tight from my last workout, and I want to focus more on chest. So let's go ahead and shoulders. Let's go ahead and put the box on. Without the springs, close the carriage, put your pubic bone aligned with the shoulder rest, flex slightly at the hip, keep the hand on the box edge close to the shoulder rest. As you open the carriage, your goal is to thoracically rotate. Flex at the hips, start opening the carriage. Once you get to the max, which I can't go anymore, feel as though you're trying to get your left shoulder as close to the spring side edge as possible, and back up. Flex at the hips, adding a little pec stretch by reaching the arm up and back. I am super tight today. I need to do a full stretch class, actually. All right, let's switch sides. Standing aside the carriage, face in, pubic bone aligned with the shoulder rest. Right hand on the edge, flex forward to the hips. You can flex a little bit more, it depends on what feels good. As the carriage opens, pull your right shoulder towards the spring side edge of that box and rotate. And back up. The goal is to stabilize hips as much as possible. You can put both hands on the box if you need support, or the option to stretch that pec up. 2 more. This side is not moving. There we go. I feel like I need an adjustment or something in my back. Let's go ahead and push it out. Do a nice little lat stretch. Start all the way back. As we flex at the hips, we're basically taking our arms up, stretching our pecs and lats. So close chained, if you know what I'm talking about. Shoulder and pec stretch and back up. Let's do 4 more of those. 3. 2. I'm leading with my armpits. And 1 to get the most out of that lat stretch. And all the way up. Let's go ahead and close the carriage. Put 1 red spring on. Let's take the box off. And let's go ahead and lie down. You know what? Let's put swivel pulleys up. Now, depending on how much you want to work, I'm going to do a 2 wrap around, and that's just going to increase, wrap twice, my range of motion. And let's go ahead and lie down. So many things I want to show you. There's a really great variation of this that I like to do. So you can see if I slide down, I'm going to get a little bit more range of motion because my shoulders aren't going to hit the shoulder rest and I go a little wider. So that's going to get me a nice pec stretch. But you can see I could even wrap 1 more around. So I'm going to wrap 1 more around on both sides. 1 more around. Better if I don't look. All right, so we're set there. Legs are in tabletop. Arms are getting that nice stretch. And let's do some circles. Going into that range out to the stretch. It is a red spring, so I want it to feel light. This is really about just taking our body and stretching. Six more. If you feel coiled a few times is too much range of motion for you, or the tension, the spring, the red is too much, please adjust. Remember to leave me comments If there's anything that didn't work on your reformer that we did today, reverse, please make sure you let me know. Leave me a comment if you want to keep it personal and you don't want the comment to be read by everybody else. Please send me a private email and I'll address your questions behind the scenes if you need help on something. Three more. Beautiful range of motion in the shoulder, getting stretch. All right, post your straps. Close all the way. Let's keep your arms out straight, feet wide on the foot bar. I love to reach my arms out as my knees go the other way. Turn to reach. Get a nice pec stretch, low back stretch, lateral hip stretch. When you come out of it, pull the hip down as opposed to the knees up. Slowly rock to the other side. Reach, look to your left hand. Feel that pec stretch. Pull the hip down. And back to the right. Turning head right. Knees go left. Pull hip down. Switch. Turn head left. Knees go right. One more. Each side. Turn head right. Knees go left. Hold that for 10. Let yourself melt into it. 9. Slowly anchor that right hip. Start looking left, knees go right, and stretch. Hold into that for 30 seconds. Let yourself just melt. Let all the tension relax. Slowly anchor left hip. Both hands are going to come to the left shoulder rest or the right, whatever side you're going to go. Take your knees, start letting your knees roll off until you push yourself up to come up. So thanks for joining me today in this class. As I mentioned earlier, comments, feedback, super important so I can help you and other members subscribe to the website. If you have a reformer and you found something great to do that was a variation that I didn't know about because your reformer is different, share it with the people. They may have the same reformer as you have, and they can benefit from all of us really chatting as a community and telling each other what we love and don't love and what we like and what works for our reformer and whatnot. I'll definitely in the future get some different reformers just so I can start doing variations. So I'll get an in-home reformer and I'll get a lower reformer, and chances are I'm going to do some tutorials so we can all see how to make things work. So any feedback from you that you found on your reformer, share with us. And that will probably be coming in 6 months to a year. I've got a lot of other things in the works as far as going on live streaming. Because of COVID, we've had to stop all group classes here in California and much of the state. So I've suspended live streaming until things are back, and we have the classes working at full capacity again. So that will be happening. A lot of other exciting things, and please keep coming back for more. And thank you very much for your subscription.